Welcome back to another video. Today we got episode 4 of NBA Playoff Watch. We're doing these videos every single Thursday for the most part, so make sure you go down there, subscribe, turn on the noties to make sure you don't miss whenever we upload. Not only are we doing these every single Thursday, we're doing college basketball on Mondays, college football on Tuesdays, NFL on Wednesdays every single week. So again, make sure you subscribe if you are new. But for those of you who are new, here's what we kind of do. We talk about the Eastern Conference standings, we talk about the Western Conference standings, touch a little bit on all 30 teams, and then we put them into a playoff bracket, including the play-in, predict it all the way through based on the standings of today. So yeah, it's a really fun time. So let's go ahead and jump right in. We're going to start in the Eastern Conference, and at the top, it's going to be the Pistons. They're 17-15. They just came off an 11-12, 13-game win streak. It was something crazy, but they were winning a lot of games. They were looking really, really strong. And good on the Pistons. JB Bickerstaff, this was a team that was like 2-27 2 years ago. Last year they got into the playoffs as a 6 seed. I believe they took the Knicks to 7 games as well. And now the Pistons are sitting here 17-5. They're playing really good. Jalen Duren may be the most improved player this season. He's been absolutely absurd what he's been able to do. Cade Cunningham has been ridiculous for them all season long. I said in the preseason he may potentially be an MVP candidate. I think that's how good he would be this season, and he probably is at this point. Now it's going to be hard to win it over guys like Luka, Giannis, obviously SGA and Jokic are probably the top two. But even Luka and Giannis, but he could definitely get into that top 5. I wouldn't be shocked if he's 5th right now. He's been absolutely amazing, especially in the fourth quarter. The way he closes games, for them, he might win Clutch Player of the Year. Jalen Duren might win Most Improved Player. They've got a lot of guys on this team, and I wouldn't be shocked if they go out and make a move at the deadline, maybe buy in, maybe go for a guy like Lauri Markkanen. I said that last episode. I think he'd be a really good fit. You could potentially try to trade a guy like Jaden Ivey or Tobias Harris. I wouldn't be upset at either of those guys. So the Pistons in a really good spot right now. Same thing with the Knicks. The Knicks offense, we knew this coming in, but they are one of the best offenses in the league. Brunson and Cat have been absolutely ridiculous. Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby have been really good. Josh Hart, all the typical guys. They brought in Jordan Clarkson. He's been really solid for them off the bench, averaging 10 points a game. Landry Shamit's been pretty good. Tyler Kolek. Tyler Kolek's been all right. But Mitchell Robinson, some of these guys have dealt with some injuries, and the Knicks are doing just fine without them. They're 14-7. The Knicks were the team that I picked to make it out of the East in the preseason. They were my Eastern Conference champion in the preseason, so I was very high on the Knicks coming in, and they're looking really solid once again. The Raptors sitting here at 15-8. The Raptors were a team that I was questioning coming in. I was looking at their roster, and I was saying, on paper, a lot of these guys are very talented. How would it all mix? And I still do worry, they don't shoot threes, too well, but Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, all these guys have been really solid, all averaging above 16 points a game. Jakob Poeltl's been really solid. This is a really fun team, man. Grady Dick's been solid. They got a lot of guys on the squad. The Raptors should probably be, at the very least, a play-in team. They're not going to miss the playoffs, though. They've been playing really good. 23 games in, they're 15-8. If you're a Raptors fan, I think you'd take that every day of the week. The Heat have been really solid. I honestly feel like I'm buying more into the Heat than I am with the Raptors. Tyler Hero's only played 5 games, but in those 5 games, he's averaged 24 points a game. Norman Powell, bringing him in, has been an absolutely huge help. He's just been an absolute offensive weapon for them that they've really needed, because their offense in the past few years has really struggled. They've been a defensive team. Norman Powell comes in 25 points a game. Jaime Jaquez, he had a bit of a sophomore slump last season, but this year, man, he has really stepped it up. He can finish at the rim very well. Kel'el Ware's been really solid for them. Bam Adebayo has missed a few games, but he's been really solid. Obviously, we know what we're getting from Bam. He's one of the best rim protectors in the league. The Heat team, this Spoelstra, I've been saying this the past few years, but I think he is the best coach in the league, and the way he's been able to, kind of just switch this identity on its head. This is always a defensive first team, and it's not like their defense is bad. Their defense is still, I believe, top 3. But the offense has really been, exciting to watch. The Heat have been one of the most fun teams to watch this season. The Celtics at 13-9, they've been kind of coming back a little bit. They're 8-2 in their last 10. I will say Derek White has been a little disappointing this season. He's only averaging 17. They've kind of needed him to do a little bit more. But guys like Anthony Simons, Peyton Pritchard have stepped up. Jaylen Brown is averaging 29 points a game right now, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. He's been absolutely ridiculous. He's probably going to make an All-NBA team. I'd be shocked if he didn't. 29 points a game, pretty good there. So the Celtics are sitting at the 5 seed. The Magic at 13-9 at the 6 seed, same record as the Celtics. The Magic kind of started off a little bit shaky, but they're reminding everyone why this was kind of a consensus top 4 team in the East preseason, and I still think they probably will finish there. I would say, like, the Magic have looked really good. I know Paolo Banchero's been out for a lot of this, and they've actually looked better. A lot of Magic fans are saying they could trade Paolo, maybe get somebody back, maybe somebody that fits better, because a lot of people are saying they either got to trade Franz or Paolo, one of the two. So we'll end up seeing what happens. But that could be interesting. Jalen Suggs has been really good. Anthony Black has really stepped it up this year. He's averaging 13 points a game. He's been really solid. The Magic are always going to have a really good defense, obviously. I believe Paolo actually returns today against the Heat. So, we'll see how they look in that game. But the offense has really taken a step forward. And, bringing in a guy like Desmond Bane, obviously that's not going to... I mean, that was the hope that he would help, and I guess maybe he has, because this Magic offense does look a lot better. The 76ers are an interesting one, because obviously, like Joel Embiid, we never really know how many games he's going to play. He's only played 8 games so far. And this whole team's really been beat up. Paul George has only played 6 games. They just have a lot of guys. Their only consistent guy who's I believe played every game is Tyrese Maxey. This dude is averaging 32.6 points a game, 7 assists, almost 5 rebounds, 1.6 steals. Tyrese Maxey has been absolutely ridiculous. Quentin Grimes has been really good. VJ Edgecombe kind of started off really nice, but recently he's been kind of falling off a little bit, but he still has been solid. Like, it's really just Tyrese Maxey. He is one of the most fun players to watch. He is playing out of his mind right now. He's got the Sixers in here as the 7th seed. The Cavs at 13-10 did not expect to see this season. I thought the Cavs were a shoo-in to be top 2 in the East. Maybe not, but maybe they'll still get there. It is still very early. They're only 2 games back of the Knicks right now, so they're definitely right there. The East is really tight right now. Cavs could definitely get back up there. Donovan Mitchell still averaging 30 a game. Evan Mobley been a little disappointing offensively. I thought he may take a step offensively this season. It doesn't really look like that's the case. His defense is still really solid, but I don't know. People are making noise. They may try to trade Darius Garland. I don't know if I'd do that. We'll see what happens if the Cavs do end up doing that. Maybe if they continue to struggle, but I'd assume the Cavs figure it out, and they still kind of are trying to figure it out. So I would wait a little bit with the Cavs. I wouldn't be too panicked right now. The Hawks at 13-10 have been without Trae Young for a while, and now a lot of people are saying they may go out and trade Trae Young because they have looked, at least what I've heard, they've looked better without Trae Young. So that could be interesting. Jalen Johnson's been really solid. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, averaging 20 points a game. He's been really solid. They've got some pieces, right? Like Zachary Researcher is really solid. Dyson Daniels, obviously, we know he can do defensively. He's a very important piece for this Hawks team. So they got a lot of pieces. We'll see if the Hawks do end up making any moves. I think that would be interesting. I think they're one of the teams in the Giannis sweepstakes, and we will talk about this. Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks. We'll start with the Bucks. They're 10-13. We knew coming in this roster wasn't going to be good enough to get it done. Like, maybe they could have still got a top 6 seed. I think I predicted them to get the 6 seed, I want to say. Just because of Giannis. And he is probably top 3, top 4, maybe. At worst, top 4 in MVP voting. He still is like a top 5 player in this league, and he will be for quite some time, I'd assume. At least the next, 3-4 years. But we get some news from Shams that Giannis is meeting with a lot of guys in the Bucks organization, talking about his future. Now, he's kind of done this before, so I wouldn't overreact yet. It's not like he requested a trade, but it is interesting that, the sports books are starting to put out odds about which team is the favorite to land Giannis, and that I don't think has ever happened before, so that should tell you something. I think Giannis, at this point, is probably going to get traded. I don't know how they can keep him. And yeah, the Bucks are going to be if Giannis starts going out making lists like teams he wants to go to, then the Bucks may be screwed, because how are they going to get proper value if Giannis only wants to go to 3 or 4 or 5 teams? So that'll be interesting. The Bulls are actually one of the teams interested in Giannis. I think it's like the Knicks, the Lakers, the Spurs make a lot of sense. The Bulls are in there. I think the Hawks, I want to say. The Bulls are 9-12 right now. You know, it was fun for a little bit. They were 6-0, I want to say. Maybe 7-0? I don't remember. I'm a Bulls fan, for those of you who don't know. And yeah, they've been really bad recently. Like, this is the Bulls team that we thought we were going to get coming into the season. I will say, like, Kobe White's only played 5 games. I don't know. Matas Buzelis hasn't really taken too much of a step forward. That was a lot of the hope that he would end up taking that step. The Bulls are still, like, just kind of winning with the team effort. Like, they got 8 guys right now averaging above 10 points a game, but they just don't have the star. And this has been the problem since, DeRozan, besides the year DeRozan was, like, an MVP candidate. Ever since that, I want to say that was 22, 23, 24 this season. Like, all these years, the Bulls really haven't had a superstar player, and that's kind of their problem. Honestly, I don't see the Bulls making the play. Maybe if the Bucks trade Giannis, maybe the Bulls can get in as the 10 seed, but like, this is what the Bulls do every year. The Hornets, I will say there's some bright spots, there's some not so bright spots. A lot of noise is coming out that they may try to be looking to trade LaMelo Ball. That could be interesting if that does happen, but I've heard some Hornets fans saying that they wouldn't even mind that because, and this is the bright spot I want to talk about, Con Knippel is averaging 18 points a game right now. I want to say he's shooting close to 50, 40, 90 as a rookie. There's some sort of stat. He's like the only rookie to be averaging this high points on this high efficiency. It is still early. I would expect that to go down a little bit. He is a rookie, but Con Knippel is probably the favorite for Rookie of the Year right now. And for good reason. He's been really solid, so looks like the Hornets found a guy in Con Knippel. That could be interesting, but honestly, the team's just not good enough. And then the Nets, Pacers, and Wizards, none of these teams are good enough. I will say, all these teams, actually, I don't think the Wizards beat the Bulls, but the Wizards lost to the Bulls by 1 point. But the Nets and the Pacers, the two other bottom feeders in the East, did beat the Bulls. So, that's some food for thought. But yeah, like with the Wizards, Bilal Coulibaly's been kind of disappointing. The Pacers obviously have been. They made the finals last year and they lose Tyrese Halliburton, and it's just that bad. Like, I didn't realize Tyrese Halliburton was this valuable. And then with the Nets, like the Nets and the Wizards, we knew were going to be bad. I will say Michael Porter Jr. is an interesting trade candidate if they do end up selling him because he has been really solid. Now that he has kind of just the ultimate green light, he can kind of just do whatever he wants offensively. The Nets don't really have much going for them. Let's move on to the Western Conference, though. A lot of the West is different. Like, the East maybe has more depth this year, which you haven't been able to say. With the West, though, these top teams are still maybe the top. I'm gonna just pretend the Nuggets are the 4 seed because they have the same record. If these top 4 teams, Thunder, Lakers, Rockets, Nuggets, these may be the top 4 teams in the league right now. Like, that's how good these top 4 are. And the Spurs have been really good too. It's just they don't have Wemby right now. Dylan Harper's been a little banged up, but they are still really good. Like, the Spurs are definitely up there as well. So with the West, there's a lot of really great teams, and we'll start off at the top with the Thunder, 21-1. We might be watching like the greatest team of all time, folks. 22 games in, and they have won 21. I just kind of want to do some math here. So if you do 21 divided by 22, that's 95% of their games. If you multiply 82 by 95%, they're on pace right now to win 77.9 games, folks. Like, that is absurd. Do I think they'll finish 78-4? Probably not. But, like, that's 5 games better than the greatest record of all time, 73-9. I think they're probably, at this point, going to break the record, which is insane. Maybe they don't, but, like, they're 21-1, guys. Like, this is statistically the greatest defense ever. They have the MVP. They have maybe the guy who's going to win back-to-back MVPs, and they've done this, by the way, without their second-best offensive player for most of the season, Jalen Williams. Isaiah Hartenstein's also been a little banged up, but the depth on this team is just ridiculous. The Thunder just feel like inevitable right now. that's all I can really use to describe it. Like, I'm going to be honest, I don't know who's going to beat this team. We'll see, but it looks like we're in store for a dynasty. The Lakers have been really solid, 16-5. Luka Doncic right now is averaging 35, 9, and 9. And by the way, he's like third in MVP voting right now. It's absurd. Austin Reeves, not to mention, 29 points a game. He's been ridiculous. And it's really helped him, that the Lakers, that he's been able to do this, because LeBron has not been asked to be like the secondary scoring option. And honestly, at this point in his career, I feel like he's better in this role. Now, obviously, in the playoffs, he'll give you some good scoring games. It's still LeBron, but the way he's been able to do playmaking, we just saw the other night, he gave up his, whatever it was, 1,000-plus game streak of 10-plus points a game. He swung it to Rui in the corner, let him take the game winner, and they end up winning the game. The Lakers are really good right now, guys. So, with that being said, yeah, Lakers 16-5, really good team. The Rockets at 14-5, bringing in KD looks like it works, because this team is still really good defensively. Sengun is an absolute monster. 23 points a game, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. He's been ridiculous. KD's averaging 25 a game. Amen Thompson's been really good. Reed Shepherd kind of struggled in the first few games of the season. People kind of forgot about him, but since then, man, he's been really solid. 13 points a game. He's shooting the ball a lot better. Yeah, the Rockets are a really good team. The Spurs at 15-6. If Wemby can get healthy, this team will be really solid and stay healthy. Stephon Castle's missed games. Dylan Harper's missed games. De'Aaron Fox missed games. De'Aaron Fox, by the way, still got it. He's averaging 25 points a game. He's been insane. I would kind of expect the Spurs to trade someone, but maybe they don't. But they have a lot of pieces, it feels like. Wemby's obviously not getting traded. De'Aaron Fox, I'd assume, isn't getting traded because they just kind of acquired him. But Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Dylan Harper, Harrison Barnes, Keldon Johnson, Luke Cornett, Jeremy Sohan, all of these names, it just feels like maybe they go all in. Maybe this is the team that gets Giannis. I've heard that, and I think that would be very interesting. And it may be good for them. If they go all in with Wemby on the rookie deal still, they might be able to get something here. It's going to be hard to beat the Thunder, but Wemby and Giannis, maybe that's enough. Dylan Harper's been playing really good as well. We'll see what happens if they end up trading him. That'd be very interesting because he's looked amazing. The Nuggets at 15-6, if they can ever just get fully healthy, this is probably the team that I trust the most besides the Thunder, just because Jokic, they've won a title before. Jokic is, in my opinion, the best player in the world. And yeah, the Nuggets are just absurd. They got the depth this offseason. That was kind of their problem last season. They fixed it, and they look a lot better. Now, they have been injured a lot. Christian Braun's missed games, Aaron Gordon. So if they can get fully healthy, that would help them a whole lot. But, you see it just off the record. They fixed their depth. They've had some key pieces, key guys injured for a lot of the season. They're still 15-6. By the way, Jokic is averaging 28.7 points a game, 12.6 rebounds, and 11 assists. Just thought I'd throw that in there. Yeah, he's ridiculous. Probably the best offensive player ever. The Timberwolves at 14-8. Rudy Gobert's, I don't know why I'm starting with this, but Rudy Gobert is been pretty solid defensively. We know what we're gonna get from him, but I just want to give him a little love because I feel like he doesn't get enough. He is still one of the best rim protectors in the sport. Just plain simple. Naz Reid's been really solid. Dante DiVincenzo, Anthony Edwards obviously is averaging 29 points a game. He's one of the best scorers in the league. The Timberwolves are once again very good. We kind of expected this. What we didn't expect is the Suns here as the 7th seed, 13-9. They've been really fun to watch. Their schedule's been kind of picking up, and they've actually won a few of these games. They almost beat the Thunder. They lost to the Thunder by 4 points. They beat the Kings. They beat the Spurs. They beat the Timberwolves. So, it's interesting to see what the Suns have done. Now, they did lose to the Nuggets. They did lose to the Rockets. So some of these teams, but they did beat the Lakers earlier this week. So, and their schedule is going to continue to be very tough. They've got a lot of tough games coming up. Rockets, Timberwolves, Thunder, Warriors, Lakers. a lot of tough games here, so we're going to really figure out if the Suns are legit. But if they keep winning, if they even win half of these games, I'd say the Suns are probably a play-in team. Maybe they go out and make a move. I've heard Trae Young to the Suns could be interesting. But yeah, I will say Dylan Brooks has really changed this identity defensively. Not to mention he's averaging 22 points a game. People aren't tapped into the Suns. Telling you, they're 13-9. This is a really good Suns team. The Warriors at 11-12. Everyone was getting excited about them, myself included, with the way they started this season. But recently, it's not been great. 11-12, not what you'd expect, especially with all the, the hype coming in the hype coming in the offseason. You'd expect them to be a lot better than this. I've heard the Warriors may try to make a move. I don't know what that looks like, but I've heard Buddy Hield could get traded, so we'll see what the Warriors do. Giannis, I don't think it's Giannis. I just don't know what they'd be able to give there. Maybe it is, but I don't know. I know Giannis really likes playing with Curry, so yeah, that'll be interesting. The Grizzlies at 9-13. I feel like it may be time to kind of blow this up. It just doesn't look like it's working. Offensively, they've been really struggling. They're not scoring a lot. John Morant's only averaging 18 points a game. He can't seem to stay healthy. He's an injury-prone guy. I've heard he may get traded. It'll be interesting to see if he does and where he ends up getting traded if he does. But yeah, it might be time to give it up with this group for the Grizzlies, which does suck because they were my favorite team a few years ago. Whenever they were the 2 seed, that was a really fun Grizzlies team. The Trailblazers at 9-13, they've still got a lot to figure out. This is a young team, but I will say Denny Avdija, I was giving a lot of love to Jalen Duren for the most improved player, but it may be Denny Avdija. This guy's averaging 26 points a game, guys. He's been absurd. He's been so good. This Trailblazers team does rely a lot on fast breaks. They don't really score a lot in the half court. But they're still trying to kind of figure things out. I think the Trailblazers could be a play-in team. Will they? I'm not sure. I'd expect the Mavericks to get better and the Clippers to get better as the season goes on, but maybe the Trailblazers can hang on. We'll see. Maybe the Grizzlies just drop out. Maybe the Suns drop out. We'll see. I'd expect the Suns to probably stay. They look really good, so I don't know. The Trailblazers are in as of right now. The Jazz I would not expect to get in. They're 8-13. They started out really well, but they did start out pretty solid, I want to say, last season. Lauri Markkanen's averaging 28. I'd expect him to get traded. Keontae George is interesting, though. Looks like they found a guy in him. He's averaging 23 a game right now. He's been really solid. So the Jazz do have some pieces here. Bryce Sensabaugh, Cal Filipowski, Ace Bailey. A lot of these guys are young. Keontae George, obviously. So they also have Walter Clayton. I didn't know that. Walker Kessler. I forget if I said him, but he's young. So I would expect Lauri Markkanen to get traded at some point. Maybe it's to the Pistons, like I said. Maybe it's someone else. I feel like he's too good to have this team. This team is trying to tank, trying to get draft picks. The Mavericks at 8-15. This kind of just goes to show you just don't trade Luka Doncic, guys. Simple as that. You don't do it. But with the Mavericks, I will say, Cooper Flagg, they tried out the experiment of him playing at point guard. It didn't work, and I will give them credit. They did kind of stop doing that. They let him not do that, and I will say shout out to Jason Kidd for making that and noticing that. So that was good. And Cooper Flagg is, potentially still going to win Rookie of the Year. He's still, in there. It's still very early as well. But yeah, Anthony Davis has only played 8 games. It sounds like he may get traded. I really hope the Bulls don't go out and trade him because I don't really love that, to be honest, as a Bulls fan. I feel like it may happen, though. I'm kind of worried. We'll see. But yeah, the Mavericks are just really, really struggling on both sides of the ball, and we thought the defense would be able to carry them to a lot of these wins without Kyrie, without the guard play being, up to par. And it's not bad. It's just not as good as what we thought. The Clippers are not as good as what we thought either. It's really a shame that they cut Chris Paul. I don't know how you do that to that guy. He's your best player in franchise history, and you just cut him at 3 in the morning. Really just leaves a bad taste in the mouth. I didn't like that. I didn't like waking up to seeing that. I will say with the Clippers, though, I feel like they got to get into the play-in. I feel like they still can. Is that crazy? I understand everyone was excited because they had maybe the deepest team, at least we thought, coming in to the coming into the season. But like all the depth is old. Like this is such an old team, and they just don't run in fast breaks. They don't really play good defense. Zubac doesn't look the same as he did the past few years. Like I don't know. It's just bad, man. Like I will say, James Harden's been really, really good. This guy's averaging 27 points a game. James Harden is still like a really good player. But yeah, besides that, man, they have been struggling, and it's a shame to see because you got so many of these like legends on their team, and you'd like to see them be good, and they're just not. The Pelicans at 3-20 is crazy, by the way. Like, that's the worst record in the league? Yeah, I did not expect that. That's crazy. Maybe they just trade everyone. We'll see what happens there. The Kings, I've heard the Kings don't really like Zach LaVine, how he's playing. DeRozan, Sabonis looks really struggling. I've heard he may get traded. I'm not really sure what's going on with the Kings. I will say Westbrook has actually been pretty solid, so I guess that's fun. But yeah, the Kings are bad. I don't think they're going to make the play-in at all. But let's go ahead, get into the fun part here, the playoff predictions based on the standings right now. We're going to start in the bottom left with the 7-8 game in the West. Suns, Warriors. Honestly, if this is a 7-game series, I may take the Suns. I don't know about that, actually. That one's close. I will say that 7-game series, but in a 1-game, I'm going to just trust Steph Curry. Maybe I should just trust Devin Booker. But I don't know. I'm still going to give the benefit of the doubt to the Warriors because this is the Warriors. Maybe that's just preseason bias. The Suns, I will say, have probably looked like the better team so far this season, but I'm still going to take the Warriors in that one. Grizzlies, Trailblazers, I'm not really sure. I don't really like either of these teams, in all honesty. I'll take the Grizzlies. I just feel like they have a little bit more. The Trailblazers do struggle, so as long as the Grizzlies can limit the turnovers, they should be able to win that game. But I'm going to take the Suns to get the 8 seed. I think they're playing much better than the Grizzlies right now. Moving over to the East plane, the 76ers and the Cavs. Like I said with the Cavs, they're still trying to kind of figure things out, ease into the season. I wouldn't be too worried about them, so I'll take the Cavs to win against the 76ers. They're really beat up. They're always beat up, but especially maybe Tyrese Maxey can just win them, their way to a win. Like maybe he'll just drop 50. He's very capable of doing that, but so is Donovan Mitchell, and I think the Cavs are just overall the much better team. Up to the 9-10 game, the Hawks and the Bucks. With Giannis being out, there's just not much going for the Bucks. I will end up taking the Hawks to win this game. Maybe if Giannis was here, I'd probably take the Bucks, but without Trae Young, the Hawks have looked just fine. And then with this game, 76ers and Hawks, I may take the Hawks if Trae Young's playing. I feel like the Hawks may be the better team, but I think Tyrese Maxey just wills them to a win here, like I said. I mean, he's been absolutely amazing. And not to mention, like, a lot of these other guys on the 76ers have stepped up. Maybe if Embiid can play, I mean, he probably won't, let's be real. But I'll just take the 76ers. Again, maybe the Hawks are the better team. But I feel like in a one-game scenario, there's always some kind of chaos, I want to say, in the plan. Well, I guess technically it wouldn't even be because the 76ers are the higher seed right now. But honestly, like, yeah. I mean, in a 7-game series, I'd probably take the Hawks. But in a one-game scenario, I'll take the 76ers to kind of find a way to get this one done. The Thunder and Suns, as much as I love the Suns and how they're playing, I'm going to just go with the Thunder. Like, this is a no-brainer. The Thunder are not losing first round, I promise you. I'd bet, like, all the money I have on that the Thunder at least get to the second round. Probably, I don't know if I could bet all my money that they would make it to the Western Conference Finals, but I'd feel like if I did, I'd probably be right, to be fair. That's how good they are. The Spurs and the Nuggets, without Wemby, without, a lot of these guys for the Spurs being a little banged up, not 100%. I know the Nuggets are as well, but with both these teams banged up, I'm still going to trust the Nuggets. Like, Jokic is still playing with the Spurs, Wemby. He's injured, so, the Nuggets will have their best player and the Spurs won't. I don't love that. So I'll just go with the Nuggets based off of that. The Rockets and the Timberwolves is fun. Can Anthony Edwards beat his mentor, not mentor, but, idol in a sense? Can Anthony Edwards go out and beat him again? Because he swept him when he was on the Suns, 4-0. Could the Timberwolves get a win here? I don't think so. Like, maybe they could. Maybe Anthony, I mean, he's been to back-to-back Western Conference Finals. He's so good in the playoffs. The Timberwolves are so good in the playoffs. They always step it up. But the way the Rockets are playing right now, it's hard for me not to pick them. I think the Rockets are one of the best teams in the league. Defensively, they've been really solid. And offensively, KD and Sengun have been ridiculous. Same thing with Amen Thompson. Like, a lot of these guys. And if they had Fred VanVleet, man, this Rockets team would be so good. It's so unfortunate that he has been hurt. But I will say, Reed Shepherd stepped it up. I will say with the Timberwolves, Rob Dillingham, been pretty disappointing. They still don't really have like that point guard kind of player, and they're really lacking that. Maybe they go out and make a trade for one. I'm not sure who's available. Like Ja Morant. Could you imagine Ja Morant and Anthony Edwards on the same team? That would be ridiculous. I don't think they trade for Ja. Like maybe Trae Young. I don't know. I don't think they trade for Trae Young. Although that would be a pretty interesting fit. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the Timberwolves just kind of tough it out. Like, you know, they're still a really good team. It's just they're not as complete in my eyes as the Rockets are right now, so I'm going to take them. The Lakers and Warriors, this one's pretty easy. I'm going to take the Lakers. The Lakers are playing much better. The Warriors are not playing good at all. I think these are pretty clearly the top four in the Western Conference. Moving over to the East, though, the Pistons and 76ers, the Pistons just have too much right now, too much going for them. I got to take them, especially to get out of the first round here. I think that's pretty clear. Jalen Duren, Cade Cunningham, all these guys have really stepped it up, put it all together, and the Pistons look really solid. So, they're definitely winning in the first round, getting to the semifinals of the Eastern Conference. With the Heat and the Celtics, this one's fun. I'm actually going to go with the Heat. I think the Heat are playing really good right now. Like I said, Tyler Hero's come back in. Norman Powell's been amazing. Bam Adebayo's been a little beat up, but I think I want to say he's healthy right now. I'm not sure. Actually, he may be injured. I'm not sure. But the defense has been still top 3, top 5 in the league. The offense has really stepped it up. And Spoelstra, I do believe, like I said, is the best coach in the league. So I'm going to take the Heat. They also get the home court advantage. The Celtics are without Tatum. Derek White's been a little iffy without Tatum being able to play make for him. So I'll take the Heat. I think the Heat get this one done. With the Raptors and the Magic, the Raptors are playing really good right now. I'm going to go out and take the Raptors here. You know, maybe preseason I'd definitely tell you the Magic would win this series. And I will say I want to see a little bit more offensively for the Magic. I was close to picking them. Defensively, they're still really good. But offensively, they've really picked it up recently. But I think in the playoffs, you're going to want Paolo Banchero. I think the Raptors are playing really good ball right now, so I'm going to take the Raptors. Knicks, Cavs, these are the two teams that everyone thought would be the best in the East, myself included, and they're playing in the first round right now. That's just why it's so fun to do this every week, just to see the crazy matchups we get, and obviously it'll sort itself out as the season goes on. But yeah, Knicks, Cavs should be pretty fun, a pretty fun series in the first round, obviously. I mean, when you get the two best teams in the first round, you'd think. Now, so far, the Cavs have not been playing like the best team. I think the Knicks have been playing much better so far, so I'm actually going to take the Knicks to get out of the first round, but that is a terrible draw. You do not want to see the Cavs, I promise, in the first round. That would be pretty tough. Like I said, I do think the Cavs will figure it out. I think just give them a little bit of time. The Thunder and the Nuggets. Man, we get a rematch of the second round game in the West last season. This would be so fun. I just think the Nuggets are too beat up right now. The Thunder are kind of getting some of their guys back. And like I said, they've lost one game this season, guys. Like, I got to go with the Thunder here. I'm going to take them until I see, any reason otherwise. I'll take the Thunder to beat the Nuggets. But yeah, the Thunder are, like I said earlier, the Thunder might just be inevitable at this point. The Rockets-Lakers, this one is probably the toughest series of any to predict for me. Like, this one is so tough. Both these teams, like I said, maybe top 4 teams in the league, at least right now in my eyes. I'm going to take the Lakers. I feel like they have a little bit more juice offensively, and Luka may just be able to win them this series. Like, Luka's going to be the best player in the series. You could say, with the series of KD, LeBron, like, Luka's the best. Sengun's really good. Austin Reeves has been absurd, like I mentioned. But Luka's by far the best player in the series. Maybe not by far, but he's definitely, clearly the best player in the series, and that's just what I'm going to go with. Maybe the Rockets are better defensively. Maybe you can say that, but I'd say the Lakers are probably better offensively. I love what they're doing with LeBron and kind of the playmaking role. It's very interesting what they've been able to do there. So I'm going to take the Lakers to get to the Western Conference Finals. But if you told me the Rockets were the better team than the Lakers, right now, I wouldn't blame you. I might actually say that myself. But in a playoff series, 7 games, I'm going to trust the team with Luka, LeBron, Austin Reeves, who's averaging 28 points a game right now. I'm going to trust that. And you can kind of say the same thing with the Rockets. You're going to trust Amen Thompson, KD, Sengun. All those guys have been ridiculous. But I'm going to take the Lakers to the Western Conference Finals as of right now. I love what they're doing. The Pistons and the Heat. This is a really tough one for me to pick. I'm going to go with the Pistons. I think they are overall the better team. I want to see a little bit more just keeping this up with the Heat. Like, they've been so good, and they're so fun to watch, which is crazy because the Heat games are never fun to watch, it feels like. But this year they actually have a really good offense. But I feel like the Pistons are just playing better right now. Like, there's a reason they're 1 seed in the East. They were on, like I said, like a 12, 13-game win streak, I want to say. The Pistons are playing so good right now. Cade Cunningham, I trust him to close out a game over anyone on the Heat. So, for that, in the playoffs, I'll trust the Pistons to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. And then the Raptors and the Knicks, kind of same thing with the Heat. I just want to see a little bit more before I can fully trust this Raptors team. I know what I'm going to get with the Knicks. Jalen Brunson, Cat, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, all those guys can score very well. One of the best offenses in the league, maybe the best with the Knicks, so I'm going to take them. I just trust them more. Back over to the West, I do love the Lakers, but honestly, like, if there's one team that can but slow down Luka Doncic enough, it would be the Thunder. I just feel like it's probably a bad matchup for the Lakers, in all honesty. I'm just going to take the Thunder. Like I said, it's just so hard not to. And then the Pistons and the Knicks, I'm going to stick with my preseason finals prediction. This is what I've predicted the past few weeks. I'm going to take the Thunder and the Knicks. I think the Knicks beat the Pistons. Like I said, I just feel like I trust them. The Pistons are still very young. I know the Knicks are, like, kind of somewhat young. Like, Brunson, Cat, Mikal, OG, none of these guys are, like, super old. But I'm just going to trust Mike Brown. Like, he's done it before with the Warriors in the past. And, this offense is so good. With the Pistons, like, they are really good. And maybe they make a move at the deadline that changes this, but I feel like the Knicks just have more, than the Pistons do, and I trust them more. So I'm going to take the Knicks to win this one. And then in the championship game, or in the NBA Finals, the Thunder and the Knicks, I'm going to take the Thunder. Guys, like 21-1, like I said, they're on pace to win like 78 games right now, guys. That's not normal. The Thunder won it all last season. They're probably better this season, and they've played like 3 games with J-Dub, who's their second best player. Like, I mean, come on. I gotta take the Thunder. If you're taking anyone else but the Thunder right now, you're probably pretty crazy. So, give me the Thunder. But that's gonna do it for episode 4 of NBA Playoff Watch. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you go down there, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Comment down below what you agree, what you disagree with my predictions, some of your thoughts on your favorite team maybe, or other teams around the league. I'd love to discuss down there. But yeah, once again, that's gonna do it. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you guys on Monday with another college basketball Power 40 rankings video.